yourself and you think about, oh yeah, the times when we do those things, we just go and notice stuff. And I think that's where peace and kind of the strength to go ahead and do the outward stuff comes from, is where you take the time for the inward stuff too, you know, and we all got to do that. And I also think about, well, two things. I had this friend who was schizophrenic, and that poem's a little bit for her, because she was the best. And I wrote a poem specifically for her too, but this is for her as well. I knew her as a kid. She was the best storyteller I ever knew. Man, she was incredible. You would not believe the world she could create just like that. But she could do that because of the things that were going on in her own life were so hard to deal with that she really had to exercise her imagination. And she could create whole worlds out of just looking at a dandelion. She'd tell you these whole stories about, it all started with a dandelion and the people who could fly on the end of the dandelion and their king. And she told me stories for weeks about this land and the king and his people. And later, when I met her as an adult and realized that she had become diagnosed as schizophrenic and was spending her adult life dealing with that as a reality, I thought, there it is, there's a gift. I hope she comes back to her gift, because that's what's most important about her. And I felt like I wanted to go and talk to her about that. Do you remember the king? Tell me about the king again. But when I met her again, I was too shy to do that. I was too scared that she wouldn't remember, or that it would make her angry, or that she would cry and I wouldn't be able to deal with it. Now I think I'm old enough that if I saw her again, I'd be able to do that. And I'm just thankful for that today, for getting the chance to revisit that poem and put that in my mind, that I think I would do that. You know, if that's given, if that comes along the path, I'd like to thank her in person for that gift, because boy, it meant a lot to me to have a friend in those days. You know, we were kind of the only color around in our school, so it was great. I loved that king too and his land. It was a better place.
Ultimate means last. Who would like to ask the last question of Biggest Worm? Who would like to ask the last question?
Okay, so based on the question I asked you last time, Eric made a really good point. So what's the most creative poem in this book that you have? And can you read that one to us?
That's like getting an autograph.
This is my favorite toe. I don't know. I don't know what the most creative poem is. Oof, what's the most creative poem? I don't know. But I'll pick one that's good and creative. I don't know what's the most creative poem, but I think the one that stretches me a lot sometimes is the first poem. No, not the pre-word poem, but the first poem. Nope, not the first poem either. I don't know my own book. It's the second poem. And it's the Mi'kmaq fog song. To rain, to turn to rain, back, rainbow in the bay, fog, Uktan, the ocean. And this is where I'd say to you, it's the most creative one, because I make people do stuff. So this half of the room has to do oon. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, oon. You guys are oon, oon. Oh, but you all got to be oon, oon. And that's the fog. And you guys are Uktan, and that's the ocean. Uktan. So we go oon, Uktan, oon, Uktan. Uktan, Uktan, in the fog in the ocean. There's a whole new world. Telma, of course. We make the world. We weave the world in a whisper. Give me a whistock. Telma. We make the world. Wuskamoon. The world. Make another world. Uktan. Make another world. Uktan. Make another world. Elisnuet. We make another world. We whisper. Gimme we stuck. Elisnuet. El taktiskit. We weave, of course. And in the moments between, we weave a whole new world. Every breathing second between the drumbeat of the heart and the next beat of the heart, we make the world new.
Oh, that was beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That's so much fun to do with people because you get this really neat sound going on. And I like it stretches, this poem stretches me out because I don't speak Mi'kmaq. And I really literally thought, well, I had this experience just going down to the sea, and you understand where the language comes from when you hear people speaking that language by the sea. You go, oh, that makes so much sense. And so I had a dictionary that one of my cousins gave me a dictionary. That I want to find the words and learn how to say those words. I have a terrible accent because I asked some people, like, check my accent. And they're like, you got a terrible accent, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Because you have to, and that's why I like that poem, because it's creative. You have to take the gamble of not being very good at it. You got to work in languages you're not comfortable with, or at least as a writer, I feel like I got to go places I'm not comfortable going, and it works out better if you take people with you, you know? And it becomes a much more beautiful poem when people join in, and that's why I would, if I had to pick a most creative, I'd say that, because every time I do it, it gets created by a whole bunch of people.
We're going to bring our special session with Biggish Wern, aka Anna Marie Sewell, and with the Universal Cree philosophers and the seminar we've had to a conclusion through something that's about to happen. So could you please get your chairs as though you're going to watch something on the screen, please. What do you want? This will be the last time we ever share something in this seminar. Is Mighty Mouse here? This is also.
And if you can get up close and personal, it's going to be short, and it'll be the conclusion to all that we do together. Are we missing somebody? Oh.
So just start from the beginning?
Yes, please.
All right.
Just
The old woman remembered a swan she had bought many years ago in Shanghai for a foolish sum. This bird, boasted the market vendor, was once a duck that stretched its neck in hopes of becoming a goose. And now look, it is too beautiful to eat. Then the woman and the swan sailed across an ocean many thousands of li wide, stretching their necks toward America. On her journey, she cooed to the swan, "In America, I will have a daughter just like me. But over there, nobody will say her worth is measured by the loudness of her husband's belch. Over there, nobody will look down on her, because I will make her speak only perfect American English." And over there, she will always be too full to swallow any sorrow. She will know my meaning because I will give her this swan, a creature that became more than what was hoped for. But when she arrived in the new country, the immigration officials pulled the swan away from her, leaving the woman fluttering her arms and with only one swan feather for a memory. For a long time now, the woman had wanted to give her daughter the single swan feather and tell her, "This feather may look worthless, but it comes from afar and carries with it all my good intentions."
stop. I wanted to find a way to thank each of you for the privilege you gave me of walking in your moccasins through your writings, those of Biggish Worm Ms. Anna Marie Sewell, whom we have meditated all week long, and each of yours that I have the privilege of reading. So, this is for you, DZ14. This is for you, Big Ishmael. This is for you, Wonder Woman. Rock Woman. H-Town Presto. Mighty Mouse. Knockout. The name I can't pronounce. Princess Goddess. Buffalo Thunder. TML. My wife. Kenji. Amazon. Far Beyond. Winterhawk. We thank you. Welcome. Thank you all.
We also have some gifts for both Dr. Cornett. If I could get you to come up and present that to Dr. Cornett, Mike.
Really?
And Krista, if you could present let's see the picture right here, my friend. Is that okay? So cool. And then you wanted to present on behalf of our class. If I could get a picture with you. Krista. Thank you. Thank you for coming. I really appreciated you coming and helping us.
This guy is good. You must know that we here last week. We do that. How do you go around and shake everybody's hand? We do that.
Absolutely.
That's good. This is fun. We like this.
Have to teach you.
What a pushy guest they are. I get to go out.
Keep the hugs going. Not loud. Thank you very much. Keep coming out.
Thank you, Winter. Loved your contribution.
No. You survived, right?
Oh, that's good. Keep it up. Thank you. Good experience. Cool. Like it. Thank you. This is cool. Thank you, Rob. $1 million? Oh, good. Good. Thank you, CSL. Awesome.
And let's have a snapshot with the whole group.
Thank you.
No, just that. Nobody takes that.
Thank you, Rachel. H-Town shape. We gotta work on that. Thank you. Shape tubes. Thank you. Thank you, Buffalo Thunder. Okay. Okay. Okay.
All right. Okay, everybody. Again, I'd like to thank both of our guests that we had, Dr. Cornett and Anne-Marie Sewell.
And I didn't tell you folks because I wanted to demythologize what led to the invitation of Biggish Wern is I was crossing Canada in different campuses and everybody said, oh, you've got to have a dialogic session with Anne-Marie Sewell. You've got it. Whether I was out whether I was out in British Columbia, whether I was in Alberta, whether I was in Ontario, you've got to have a dialogic session with her. I didn't tell you this because, first of all, she was Edmonton's Poet Laureate, to give you an idea of the respect her writing commands. Second of all, she's considered one of the foremost native writers in all of Canada. A special thanks that you took the leap of faith.
Thank you, Professor Gordon. I have to say that it was really fun because I didn't know people. So, you should talk to her. That's what I expected. But I'd heard about your work through Bruce Meyer, who was the poet laureate of Barrie. He said, you got to work with Dr. Cornett. It's so much fun. And then with Naomi McElroy. She said, oh yeah, it's totally fun. You don't think people are going to look at your work like that. It's really fun. Well, if Naomi liked it, and Bruce liked it, it's probably good. I hope it was useful to you guys.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. And so I look forward to your businesses coming out, and can I leave my email with you? And then, like, if you guys have announcements about stuff you're doing, send them to me. I'd love to know, just to tell people, because I think it's cool that this is going on. And I know a little bit about Eric's work from years ago. And now I've got your card with the seniors, but who knows?
That's far beyond to you.
That's right. That's far beyond. So people that come up and go, hey, biggest worm, and I'll be like, what?
I love your mischievous idea of taking business people for 1 week through an immersion in poetry. Poets in business.
I was going to say, that was your idea.
Poets in business.
Yeah, if any of you want to take that on, there's your challenge. Because you're ready to, we're pretty close-minded. So we're sitting there going, will we still be poets if we learn about these things?
So we'll do a quick picture, and you guys want to have a little chit chat with either of
What we did want to ask, because it is our last day together, before you leave, could you please take inventory, do your inventory, take stock, of day 5, because this is it. This is the end of the seminar. If you could do that, we'd really, really appreciate it.
While it's fresh in your mind. Where's the picture? With this sun? This is cute. This is sun.
Okay.
Picture by the sun?
That's a
great sign.
They made this.
I know, it's beautiful. I'm looking at it all day, just peeking out of it.
So I don't know if we want to put some chairs in the front. Or a couple people can help you. Those took me 2 hours to make this.
Oh, there's an idea.
Where's your feather?
Why don't you get your feathers, folks?
Let's put these ones in front.
Okay, Wendy, I gotta ask, what birds do you
We should put them in there.
Yeah, can we have Dr. Cornett?
Yeah, I'll be right there.
And
I wanted to hold a feather ones in my head.
we can carry you across right here.
Yeah. Alice, come here.
Okay, so Heather, I'll take one and
Where's the chairs?
Alright, we need more. I need one more. I need one more row. We need a few more chairs.
We should move up.
Yes, please. Hold up a bunch. So I can get one more row in behind you. It's not so far apart. One more person there. And then shorter people. Lordy. And then there's tall guys into the back. Preston, can you go with Darren? Jay? Mike, come forward.
Oh, well, no.
Mike, can you come right here on this side because you're shorter than Jay, but too tall for Darren. That looks great. You guys look stunning. Okay, where's my signs? I want to see the universal Greek philosophers. Say please.
Are we feathers up or feathers sideways?
Feather up. Hi. Straight up. Head. Awesome. Okay.
You're gonna give us those pictures?
I'm sure. We're gonna act positive.
I like
Get in the second row.
Ready?
Real formal you guys are.
Okay, mustard cheese.
Mustard cheese. Universal creed.
Universal Creed philosophers.